And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our weekly field hockey Zoom with head coach Char Morett-Curtiss. Char, still trying to catch my breath from this past weekend. What a weekend. 2 overtime games. It was exciting. And there's different reasons why each game went into overtime. But boy, talk about a team that does not fade under pressure, that does not wilt under the big lights. Your girls were fantastic this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was so much hype with Iowa coming to town. We hadn't beaten them for a number of years. So many implications with the conference and just with, your national ranking. And just, again, we knew that it was going to be a big game. So I really felt the girls were fired up going into that game. And I say to them all the time. They ask me if I get nervous for those games. I'm like, no, I don't, because I know you're going to bring it, Right. So they certainly did. And what a great crowd that was there that night. And I mean, even for the stadium being under construction, it has not really hindered our attendance numbers.
No, and it was loud.
Yeah.
And it was very loud. The game Friday night, that was a quality field hockey game. And what I like about, when we play these Big Ten opponents that are very good, they're all intense in their own ways. But when we play Iowa, it's intense in the best of ways. They are two outstanding programs and two programs that respect each other. Yeah. And it was just good quality field hockey. Tell me, did you notice anything when Iowa tied that game up late? A lot of teams, not our team, but a lot of teams would kind of go, oof, I didn't see our girls skip a beat.
No, the day before, the day after Sunday, James Madison was beating Iowa for like 53 minutes.
Yeah.
And Iowa came back and scored, and then they got another goal, I think 2 or 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
Our team, our players felt so confident in their play. The way they were moving the ball around the field, the way they were communicating. And when it came time to go into overtime, they sat down there like, we got this. We're good. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's keep doing what we're doing. We've got this. And so, hearing that come from them, obviously, I don't have to give them that confidence. I mean, right. It was crazy because a lot of there are so many alums there, and they said to me, watching you during that game, I know you stand down by the 25, but you look so calm. And I'm like, I was just loving the way they were playing. I was enjoying the way they were playing the game. And there's no reason for me to just do otherwise. Just take a lot of pride in how they're playing.
Yeah, sometimes all you have to do is get out of their way.
Yep.
And that first half, and I want to move on to Lafayette, but that first half, that was, at least in my somewhat uneducated eyes, that's the best your defense has looked all year.
Yeah, the defense, I thought Gery and Kelsey and Nuke, Elena, I thought that defense played very well individually. They played very well as a unit. Same with the middies. The middies were contesting receptions in the midfield, and the forwards were getting so much pressure on the ball on their backs in the press that we didn't give them opportunities to really put together a series of possession passes. I talked to the official. Maggie did our game on Friday, and she did our game on Sunday. And Sunday, when she got to the field, she said, Char, that was the best field hockey game I've seen all season. She said both teams competing so hard. There wasn't a lot of pushing or this or that. It just was great hockey. And Lisa said same thing. She's like, Char, that was just an outstanding game. And I agree. Just nice to see two teams, that level just compete for, that amount of time. And I tell you what, talk about confidence and composure for our players. When we started overtime with possession, I would never touch the ball. I would never got a chance to possess the ball. We just did a nice job of building that play up. Anna brought the ball inside, dished it off to Fia, and just set that up. Grace did a great job on Sunday, dishing the ball in there.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about Sunday. I'm not even going to use the term letdown because Lafayette played really well, but the energy level took a while to pick up, and I think that's natural. Given what was going to happen after the game with the groundbreaking, given all the emotion with Friday night. But what I noticed was you could see the girls saw it. They were like, okay, we're not there. We're not there. But there was never panic. And that's the thing I've noticed all year long. Your players don't get frustrated. They don't panic. They work themselves steadily through whatever situation they find themselves in.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with our captains on the field with Mac and Megan, and certainly Elena in the backfield there. I was very disappointed that we didn't come out harder because we spoke about that before. And, halftime, I sort of let them know my feelings. And I felt that they sort of made the adjustments, that there was more of a sense of urgency, not panic, but you can't let a team like that hang around. Can't let them hang around. And it's going to be what we're going to, face this weekend as well. These teams were a big name on their schedule. So it's a learning lesson for us.
Yeah. And Bucknell, Bucknell always plays us tough, regardless of the score. They always play us tough. And then you're going to go to Kent State. They are sneaky good. Yeah. Because if you look at their schedule, they've got, they're 6-5. Well, they've lost to some really good teams and they have them in blowouts. So you're hitting the road again. And boy, you don't want to get caught in that sandwich weekend between Iowa alumni and Maryland. There has to be focus.
Yeah, as a coaches group, we talk about I don't like that bye weekend in the middle of our conference play. I don't know if it's a matter of do we start conference play a little bit later. We get a little frustrated because we don't have our schedule right now for 2023. And, we got to see, we've got to get back to these teams that want to play us. But that's why we always try to start our non-conference schedule very, very strong. And then, we want to try to keep that momentum and keep the excitement of conference play going having that momentum going towards the end of the season.
Yeah. So, well, as you look at the weekend ahead, what are specific things that maybe you saw this weekend good that you want to see continue and areas for improvement that you want to see get better?
I thought our pressure on the ball, especially Friday night, was outstanding. And I think that if we can get consistency with that press, we've been improving week to week. I feel like we've been moving the ball around inside, outside. If you watch us play, we love to go down the sideline because we have so much speed on the sideline. But, we're able to get the ball in the middle to Mac and into Elena and then dish it back to the outside. I'd like to see us sometimes as we're entering the 40 attacking side is get the ball inside instead of outside and inside. Let's keep them on their toes. Let's not be predictable and getting the ball the end line all the time. Read what they're giving us.
Awesome. All right. Well, look, I know you're busy. You leave Thursday. Are we going down Friday or are we going down the night before?
No, we're going Friday. We'll just go Friday, 3:30 and get up there and
come home. And then will we head to Kent State from here on campus on Saturday?
Yeah.
Sounds great. Yep. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I know you're going to pop out and get Gery Schnarrs for us.
Yeah. I do want to just say, I do want to thank all the people that came to the groundbreaking ceremony and thank everybody. Thank Tom. I know Sally and Jill, Karen, Schnells on the donors, and all the alums that came back for that ceremony and the people that waited around. Apologize that we had to extend the game a little longer, but obviously it was exciting. But I think it's just a great statement for women's athletics here at Penn State that we're going to have a first-class facility for our fans and for our players and for our recruits and donors. It's just going to be a great home stadium for Penn State field hockey.
100%. And it was wonderful to see everybody there on Sunday. That was great.
Yeah. Awesome. Let me go get Gery.
All right. Thank you, Char.
Yeah.
And welcome back. We're joined by junior defender Gery Schnarrs. Gery's in her second year at Penn State, started every game since she got here, almost 40 games now in 2 years, an NFH or a National Field Hockey Coaches Association Academic All-American and Scholar of Distinction. So Gery, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk about the season to date for you. I think we have such a veteran team. And you're one of those players whose level of play from the end of last year to when this season started really elevated. And that elevation has continued as the year's gone on. Have you noticed that? And the second part of that question would be, is this just a natural fitting into the system here? Was there something you focused on over the summer?
Yeah, so for the first part, I think I've definitely felt more comfortable, especially with my teammates, we're all meshing really well together. And I feel our everybody's little things are coming together to do really well as a team. And then for the second part where you asked, what was the second part of the question again?
Well, was there something you focused on this summer beyond just staying active in the sport to work on from the end of last year?
Yeah, I don't think like specifically I didn't work on anything like tactically wise, like that I didn't usually work on. But something that I think we focus on a lot as a team is like consistency. Like you can only get a little bit better every day, and like that'll add up to like getting like increasingly better like over a long period of time. So I don't think it was like something that I changed like dramatically day to day, but just like being consistent every day and like working on the little details, I think is what made the difference.
And I want to point to Friday, this past Friday. That first half in particular, now the whole game, the defense was fantastic, but that first half in particular was as good as you folks have played all year, defensively in midfield and the meshing. Did you notice that on the field? Could you feel like almost how impenetrable you folks were as a defense?
Yeah, I think like all week at practice last week, like every day we were like, let's work on our team defense, let's work on communicating, like let's get pressure on ball right away. And I think when we like stepped on the field, like I mean, I was always been a team that's like they're known for like their defense, like they don't let people in their circle. And we were like, we want to play better team defense than Iowa does. Like we want to keep them out of our circle. And like we had just like our whole team had the defensive mentality of like as soon as they get the ball, like we have pressure on ball. We're not letting them get like a breath of air, like shut them down immediately. And I think like we just really stepped up and like accomplished like playing team defense like as a whole.
Absolutely. So we've got 4 games left, and every single one, whether they're we got 2 non-conference this weekend, and then we close out with the 2 conference games. Because of where you folks have played yourself to, high national ranking, battling for the regular season crown, and a high seed for the Big Ten tournament, every game is literally equally as important. How do you approach a weekend on the road of non-conference games sandwiched between 2 Big Ten games? What's your mindset?
Yeah, I think just like taking one game at a time, like we know that every game is just as important as the next one, but like sometimes when we're not playing conference, it's like, oh, like it doesn't feel like as intense. Like last week on Tuesday, we were all like, okay, we're ready to play Iowa, like let's go. And then like Sunday, I feel like we kind of like took a step back after like a big win. But I think we just like, especially like obviously like we won on Sunday, but I don't think it was our best performance, especially compared to our Friday's performance. But I think that taught us that like we have to respect every opponent and come out there with like our best game every game for to finish out the season.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's step off the field and let's talk about Gery Schnarrs academically. So are you a junior academically?
Yeah, I'm a junior academically, yes.
So you're a biology major, correct?
Actually this year I recently switched my major from biology to psych, but I'm still in like the neurobio focus. So it's like I still am kind of in the classes, similar classes.
Do you think that's the kind of thing you can wrap up in 4 years? Will you need a 5th?
Where I am, like I could wrap it up and like graduate like on time, but like I don't really want to rush because like I'm very like I want to take my 5th year for like playing. So I don't think I would start like a master's program because I just don't think I would have enough time to finish it. So I think I'll probably just end up like taking extra time, like taking classes in different areas to like learn more and stuff.
And what is your career goal with that?
Well, after I got like finished my undergrad, I'd like to go to like graduate school of some sort. So in the spring, I'm like taking a class in industrial organizational psychology because that seems pretty interesting to me. And then I'm also like, I really enjoy like school psychology. So both of those ways I would probably go to some kind of like master's program. But yeah, I'm kind of not exactly sure, but I have a few directions that I'm thinking of.
And you have a few years before you have to decide. So that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Gery, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you got to get ready to go to practice. I appreciate you popping in, and good luck this week. And let's bring home 2 wins.
Thank you.